All right, year 10. So today we're going to look at how to sketch parabolas using the CAS. Now, on page 21 of your booklet, you will find these instructions. It talks about how to find the x-intercepts by going menu, analyze, graph, zeros. It looks at how to find the turning point using menu, analyze, graph, maximum or minimum. It finally talks about how to find the y-intercept by doing menu, trace graph, and enter, and then input 0. I'm just going to do a quick demonstration of how we can use these functions. So our first example is y equals 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. The first thing you need to do is sketch the graph. So we go to add graphs. If you're on the home screen, you go home, then add graphs, and then go to enter your function in. So our first function is 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. And press enter. And that's our graph there. Now, excuse me, the three things that we have to find are the x-intercepts, the y-intercept, and the turning point. If you go to menu, analyze graph, you have some options. So your 0 option will allow you to find points where the y value is 0, so the x-intercepts. You need to set a lower and an upper bound. So by clicking below both x-intercepts and dragging upwards, as soon as I highlight the first x-intercept, you'll see that 0.50 is our left-hand side x-intercept. Now, you'll notice that if I continue, I can see that the right-hand side intercept is 30. And I can simply press escape to cancel that function. Now I have my x-intercepts. I need to find my turning point. To find the turning point, again, I'm going to analyze graph. Now, because this is a minimum, I'm going to look for the point where the y value is at its lowest, so it's minimum. Of course, if it was a maximum parabola, I would be using the maximum function. Now, you'll notice as I extend my upper bound, it is getting lower until it reaches its final point, which is at 1.75, negative 3.13. So 1.75, negative 3.13. And that is our turning point. Finally, all we are left to find is our y-intercept. So if I go menu and I say trace, and I want to graph trace, you'll see it starts off at the y-intercept, which is 0, 3. I now have all the information I need to draw my graph. So if I go back to the page, I'm going to plot my points. So my y-intercept is at 0, 3. My x-intercepts are at 0.5 and at 3. And finally, my turning point is at 1.75, negative 3.13. Put that there. I'll draw it through. I do apologize for the poor drawing. But approximately that is what our parabola will look like. Now, don't forget, you must label all these points. This would be 0, 3. This would be 0.50. This point down here, our turning point is 1.75. Negative 3.13. And finally, our last x-intercept was 3, 0. Which brings us on to our second example. Now, our second example is negative 0.5x squared plus 3.7x minus 4. So I'm going to come back to this example. I'm going to go menu, graph entry or edit. Just going to add a function. I'm going to press the up button to go to my previous function because I don't want to add this function. I want to replace the other one. And I'm going to delete the old function. All right. Now I'm going to put in my negative 0.5 x squared plus 3.7x. I'll just double check, minus 4. and press enter. So you'll see that this graph is a maximum. So when we're looking for the turning point, we're not going to use the minimum function, we're going to use the maximum function. But I'm going to take the same approach as I did last time. So menu, analyze graph, and I'm going to look for the x-intercepts first. So 1.310 is my first one. 6.090 is my second. For my maximum, my turning point, I'm going to say maximum. Start the lower band anywhere you like. You'll notice that as I increase, my maximum increases until a top of 3.7, 2.84. 3.7, 2.84 as a turning point. And finally, I need my y-intercept. So I go menu, trace, graph trace, and 0, -4 is my y-intercept. I can then plot these values onto my graph. So again, and I will zoom in for this example. We have 0, -4. We have 1.31. We have 6.09. And then we have 3.7 by 2.84. So 3.7, 2.84, approximately there. And you draw your graph through. All right, now, the last thing we have to do is label these points. So we have 0, -4. We have 1.310. We have 3.7, 2.84. And we have 6.090. And that's it. Good luck.